week's target for Keep Local Alive is the Village Grinder. It's a coffee shop that's been in business for nearly 4 decades and was a pioneer for coffee shops in Omaha. Owner Patty Duziak, she is a wonderful, loving person who puts everything into her shop, her customers, and her employees. This was a consistent theme behind the nominations that we received from Boost crew members like you as to why we should target the Village Grinder this week. So with that said, I'm getting ready to head over to meet Patty and record a little interview and give you a chance to meet her. So stay tuned.
Okay, so I started in 1983, and we started with coffee beans and some gifts and tried to educate our customer that people could buy coffee, buy the beans, grind it themselves instead of out of a can at a grocery store. So it was a slow process, very slow at the beginning, and we realized we needed a little bit more. So then decided that we'd try to introduce espresso and cappuccinos. I fell in love with cappuccinos visiting my aunt in San Francisco and staying in North Beach, the Italian section in Europe. And we decided to try and teach people then about what the espresso-based drinks were and started the next phase of who we are. And over the years, the trend started to pick up, obviously with other coffee shops and the espresso drinks and the lattes and the mochas, and evolved into now the coffee drinks that we have, the coffee beans that we have, as well as gifts and kind of doing our own baked goods. Because we do smaller quantities, we decided to do them ourselves. So I have homemade cookies, we have homemade scones, we do cinnamon rolls, just the basics, but nothing real fancy.
Okay.
I would say I was on a trip, and when I came back, I noticed a drastic change in the week that I was gone, that all of a sudden everybody was like, what's this COVID thing? What are you going to do? What's happening? I realized quickly that we needed to do something. What that was a step-by-step process, in that we eliminated coffee cups and went to paper cups. We started not leaving out the creamer so everybody touched it because we were worried about the contamination and so forth. Then the question became, do we stay open or do we close? What is the right thing to do morally, and when they're telling people to stay home and not to go out? I made a phone call to my cousin, and him and I discussed, what do you think should be done and how do we do it? And we decided that we didn't want to lose our market having the store. It'd be a long time to build that, long time to build it back up if we lost it. So we started curbside service. People would come out and call us. We'd run out to the car. Well, that was a lot of work. So we came up with Plan B. And one of the owner of Countryside came for a cup of coffee, and I said, hey, what do you think if we did like a half door? So people would come to the door, and then we would give them we would give them their drinks, and they could just stand, outside. Nobody's in the shop. So we did that. He got a door for us. We got a half door, so then people came right to the door and ordered their drinks. So again, it was a major pivot. My employees were very good because every day it was changing. It was something different. We didn't know what was coming down from the state, what was coming down from the city. So we had to pivot, is the word. We had to keep changing, and we did that throughout this entire past year has been a major change. And just now we started we let people in, then we took them back out again. Then we brought, then we were able to have customers and not customers. So just now we started opening up the store again so people could sit in the store, but only tables for about 8 people, not a lot of large gatherings. And so now we're at the next phase, waiting for what the next phase and where we're going to pivot from there. But every day is something different. And my employees have been wonderful and very helpful, and that they stayed with me, realizing and helping me, guide me as to what we needed to do to try and survive. And I knew it wasn't going to be a week or two that we were going to be closed. I knew it was going to be a long haul. And what do we need to do to maintain and keep everybody? I separated employees so that I don't have 2 employees working together that could give each other COVID, so we don't all go down at the same time. So we had less staff. So there's a lot of manipulating and trying to figure out what the next step is, but it's day by day. And we've been very thankful. So many people have supported us and given us so much local support. It's a bittersweet, because you see the pain that people are going through because of COVID, but you also see so much goodness. There's so many people helping out, so much people willing to come and support local. They don't want us to go away. And how can you complain about that? How can you be sad about that? And so for me, it's been scary, but also very rewarding in a sense, because we have been able to pivot and seen so many good things, so many blessings come from it. When you do buy local, it keeps the money in the city. You know, I was very thankful when the city was promoting, you know, Tuesday, I think, take out Tuesdays for restaurants and keep buying local, how it keeps the money in our city. It just logically makes sense for people to keep it here as compared to, you know, the big chains or outside sources. And we need all of them. I don't think we should eliminate them. But for us, a small business, I mean, you know, I'm putting 2 kids through college, so it helps pay for my kids' college education. I mean, that it actually does help. And I have employees here that are going to college. They need money to survive, to pay for their college education, and we're helping them, and it goes right into their pockets. And people have come in and very, very supportive of them and very thankful that they're here. And people say all the time, you're a ray of sunshine through it. We tried to, and I believe that I told my employees that we were trying to be as positive as we possibly could, because everybody was sad, everybody was scared, nobody knew what the next day was going to be. All we could do was give them a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of happiness, a little bit of joy. So one of the things I'd really like to say is to thank all of the people and all of our loyal customers that came and supported us for this last year. There were times that it was very stressful and probably unorganized and probably confusing, and trying to understand what our hours were, what I weren't. But I am so thankful, and all of my employees are so thankful for all the local support you gave to us as a small business, because it really, really does make a difference. So thank you.